The best thing that happened that helped our industry is e-commerce. That's what just evolved everything. I mean, logistics business has completely changed.
Welcome to Real Leadership, the show that cuts through the clutter to spotlight leaders who make, move, and process things in the real economy. This isn't about buzzwords or theories. It's about bold decisions, solving challenges, and the strategies driving industries that matter. I'm Jim Weaver, CEO of the Owner Group. In every episode, we get real about what it takes to turn vision into action and obstacles into opportunities. Let's go.
Welcome back to Real Leadership. Today, our guest is Shawn Khan, founder, president, and CEO of Metropolitan Warehouse and Delivery, a logistics executive with more than 35 years of industry experience. Shawn founded Metropolitan Warehouse and Delivery in 1989 and has grown the company from a single location into a national provider of specialized furniture logistics and white glove delivery services. Under his leadership, MWD supports furniture retailers, vendors, designers, and manufacturers with both B2B and direct-to-consumer operations, delivering full coverage across the lower 48. Today, the company operates in 47 U.S. facilities and over 3 million square feet of warehouse space, forming a nationwide infrastructure dedicated to furniture distribution and final mile delivery. Shawn's entrepreneurial drive has positioned Metropolitan as a major force in shaping how furniture moves across America. Welcome, Shawn.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim.
How are we doing today?
Doing great. Thank you.
Great to have you. Yeah. Okay, let's go back. Metropolitan Warehouse, big company today, huge footprint, but it didn't start out that way in 1989, did it?
No.
Tell us how you got into the business, the genesis of what is today Metropolitan Warehouse.
Well, I was looking to be an entrepreneur, and I was searching for like 2 to 3 years, trying to find a business that I could buy. And there was really nothing that fit my budget. It could have been anything. Could have been a Dairy Queen, a Burger King, a 7-Eleven, a gas station, typical businesses that a lot of people start with. So I was just looking, and I just stumbled across a guy who had a small warehouse and one truck operation delivering furniture for a furniture store in New York City. And I didn't even know what that business was. I had no idea that this type of business even existed. So I met with him, and he was sort of really looking to get out in a very quick way for whatever reason. And I struck a deal with him that I could afford. And I had another gentleman, one of my friends, who became my partner, and we bought the business from this gentleman. And the name of the company at that time was White Glove Warehouse. That was the name of the original company. So I got in. It was a very small little account, one truck, which we would rent every day. We didn't even own a truck. We would rent it from budget and just go out and make deliveries.
Were you actually delivering?
Yes, I had to. I had to learn the business. It took me a few years. It would be 2 men. I had 1 employee, and we would go out and make deliveries. I work in the office and the warehouse during the day. After lunch, go out and make deliveries and come back around dinner time.
You're not making deliveries today, are you?
No. I stopped after about 5 years, yeah.
You've been in it for 35 years. Companies usually sort of grow in spurts. So when did it click for you that, this could be something bigger than I expected?
Yeah, and the first 2 years was really, really difficult. And after 2 years of having my own company, which was called White Glove Warehouse, I was ready to bail. I was going to shut it down. And one of my clients, really my only clients, I told them that I was shutting down, and the owner of that company came to me and said, why? And I said, I'm not making any money. It's a difficult business. I just don't have the financial capability to buy trucks and rent big buildings, which is needed. So he offered to become my investor.
Oh, wow.
So that's when we started, Metropolitan Warehouse and Delivery in November of 1991. But I always use 89 because that's when I started, and we just changed the name of the company because he joined as a partner. And we still work together from that day on. He's been my investor, my mentor. Everything that you can imagine that you need help with, he's been there for me.
Facing sudden growth or limited by traditional financing? Momentum Capital Funding empowers businesses with real-time cash flow through AR factoring. Get the funding you need and fuel your success. Visit MomentumCapitalFunding.com to learn more.
So it's just a matter of needing to get over the hump from a capital standpoint.
And when we started in 91, our idea was that we would, grow the business to maybe 5 or 10 trucks and just be a very good company in the local New York metro market. And that's what we did for about almost 10 years.
Okay.
And then after 10 years, I learned a lot about the business, and we opened our first location in North Carolina, High Point, which is sort of the furniture capital of the United States.
Yes.
And then I started to go to furniture shows and furniture markets. So we wanted to expand. There was a big connection between New York and North Carolina because the furniture is made there. So that was one part. So we started with a location in North Carolina. And then our second location was in Miami, Florida in 2009. So we had 3 locations, and we were pretty happy that we've expanded so much. And then around 2009 and 10, really when e-commerce furniture sales started to grow. And I had a few customers that were manufacturers of furniture that had some connections with some e-commerce companies, which they introduced me to them. And that's where our business started to grow. From 2010 through 2020, we went from 3 locations to probably 40 locations.
Wow.
And it's all e-commerce. I met with big customers like Costco.com and Walmart and Target and even Amazon. We'd start to do deliveries and a whole host of different e-commerce companies. So e-commerce is the main reason.
Yeah. And then COVID hit.
Yes. And
that was a pretty, significant for you, right?
Yeah. In 2 years, we had so much. First 3 months of COVID was very, very scary and obviously very difficult. But after that, we were allowed to make deliveries as part of the, I guess they call them essential services. So we were allowed to go on the road. Our drivers had to wear masks and all that. But e-commerce furniture sales just started to grow like this. And we had a really difficult time dealing with it because there was a really big shortage of labor. A lot of people didn't want to come to work. It was just a difficult time. But our business basically grew by 100% in exactly 2 years, which is 21 and 22. Our revenue grew by 100%. And we went through a difficult time, but it was also a very good time because we kind of broke all the records.
Yeah. So obviously, the labor challenges during COVID is a huge factor. What were some of the other difficulties that you had to get past having that type of growth in just a couple of years, doubling your size?
We had to go out and try to secure more buildings because we didn't have enough space to handle the volume that we were getting. And during COVID, the real estate market, industrial real estate market also just went through the roof. It was very, very hard. So in those 2 years, we planned and leased probably about 10 more cities we opened up. Took longer because during COVID, again, it was a lot of delays in construction and parts were not coming in. A building that should take 1 year was taken 2 years, 3 years to complete because of the supply chain issues. So by the time COVID was over, we had added at least 10 more locations. And right after COVID, the volume did go down in 23 because a lot of people bought a lot of things during 21 and 22 while they were home. So 23 was a little bit of a cool down. But we had established our company and we had very good growth going on. So, we were able to recover. And then 24 has been a good year for us. We grew. And 25, the same. And we continue to grow.
Yeah, I bet the respite of 2023 was welcome just to kind of catch up infrastructure-wise, right?
It was a little bit of a relief, yes, because 21 and 22 and the second half of 2020 was absolutely just insane growth.
So you support online furniture sales for some really major players. Why did they choose you as opposed to other companies like you or doing it themselves?
Well, companies, for example, like Costco.com, right? In the last 10 or 12 years that I've known them, their e-commerce furniture sales has grown they were growing at a rate of 2 to 300% a year, just that category. So they didn't even have enough time to figure out how to do it themselves. They were relying on a lot of companies such as Metropolitan. And I had another customer called Anthropology Urban Outfitters that I met in 2007. They were a major part of our growth. They also started in e-commerce furniture sales around 2007 or 8 and grew dramatically over the years. So it was, being at the right place at the right time, but also just not giving up and getting things done and trying to be as flexible as possible, taking care of the customer, dedicated, doing whatever needs to do to get done, things get done. And plus, the main thing was that I was willing and able to grow and increase our footprint throughout the United States. So they were happy with that. They wanted a company that would listen to them and grow with them.
Yeah.
Without them having to invest any capital. So we were able to do it on our own. And that's the reason. So we have built a very good reputation in the industry, in the furniture delivery business in the US.
When one experiences that kind of growth over a short period of time, it tends to challenge preconceived notions, ways of doing things, stretch. So what have you changed your mind on in the last few years in terms of how you operate? Or maybe you had it all figured out going in. I don't know.
No, you learn as you grow any business. You don't know. There's a lot of things that you don't know, especially in the transportation and warehousing business. It's every day is a new challenge, right? There's a lot of difficulties. The labor is the biggest issue. The driver shortage is a big issue. Our business, requires heavy lifting, which is also not a most desirable job that people want to do. So you learn a lot, but the demand is there. So that's the key. If there's demand, then there's a solution, right? You come up with ways to meet the demand. That's the main thing. And it still continues to be there and it continues to grow because e-commerce furniture sales continue to grow, not at the same pace as they did in the last 10 years, but still there's a lot of growth that's happening and it'll continue to happen.
I know my wife just got a couple of chairs delivered to the house this past weekend. The boxes keep coming. It doesn't seem like they're stopping. So yeah, I think the demand's there for sure. Customer expectations evolve. What is the next frontier of home delivery? What do you think will separate the leaders from the laggers in your business?
So in the majority of the deliveries that we do is white glove, which means that you actually go into the house. Your two-man team goes in, they unpack the furniture, they place it in the house, they remove all the packaging. If there's like a delivery of a bed, they assemble the bed, set it up. So the customer expectations, they are very, very high and people have to be trained. I mean, you can imagine, we're entering like over 3,500 homes a day, every day of the week.
Wow.
So some things can go wrong. You can have a little smudge on the carpet or you can have a little scratch on the wall, things like that. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. But it's all about training. It's all about making sure that the customer is happy and just having a continuous improvement type of mindset, right? You got to keep getting better every day. And the competition has also gotten very, very big. The logistics and the transportation business and home delivery, because the e-commerce has grown to a huge industry. It was never like that 10, 15 years ago.
Tell me about your training process. So you guys are spread out all over the country. I would imagine that's it would have to be a pretty comprehensive training plan.
Yeah. So we've been lucky. We find the right people who have the experience, right? So I have a lot of people that have worked in the industry for many, many years. Our executive team, the regional managers. We have a lot of people that have grown within the company. I would say at least 15 to 20 of our managers that have grown within the company have been here for more than 10, even 15, even 20 years. I have people that have been with me for 25 years. So they have the experience of the industry from the ground up. So they have grown, and plus we have to hire people who know this industry, who understand how furniture delivery works. During the 90s or the late 90s, as Sears was going down and they were getting ready to shut down, I was lucky to find a lot of people that have worked at Sears Logistics doing delivery of appliances and furniture. So I have a number of people that have years of experience working with the Sears logistic networks, and it's a difficult business, but there's certain people who like it, they love it, they only know this business and they're in it for their careers. They don't want to change anything. They don't know anything else. So it's you just got to find the right people. That's the key.
You've candidly stated, I think I was reading an article that, most people don't grow up wanting to be delivery drivers. So how does that, and most people didn't grow up wanting to be in staffing either, which is our business. So I can relate. How does that reality shape your leadership style and the way you sort of pitch the opportunity to new recruits?
Well, we have a program. All of our home delivery trucks are basically operated by what we call independent contractors, right? So it's an opportunity for an individual to have their own business. It could be one truck, it could be two, it could be three. I have a number of guys that have worked with me for years. They used to be drivers, and then we helped set them up their own companies, and they're running 15, 20, 25, 27 trucks in different cities. So, you have a certain population that is interested in becoming an entrepreneur. And this is a good opportunity, and we help them. So we have about 65 plus independent contractors. They're independent businesses. They have their they're dedicated trucks that work with us, but they have their own company and it's profitable and they love it. They've grown, and some of their kids are even in the business now.
Yeah, that's a great way to foster that ownership mindset that everybody wants to foster. Literally, help them go into business. So, are you a partner with them then, or are you?
No, we are not a partner. We just help them set up. Sometimes we lease them trucks and we guarantee them the business that they need so they can have revenue, and they operate their own business. And they're successful business. I mean, the trucking, like the trucks that do the line haul for us, I have a few companies that used to work for us as a driver, and then they bought their own tractor trailers and they expanded. So they're in North Carolina, in California, in Florida, in New Jersey. And then the home delivery trucks that we have that go out every day in all these cities, they're all 100% operated by independent contractors. You wouldn't see that by looking at it, but it's, because it's all kind of blended in. But they are truly independent operators that work for us.
Do they operate under your brand?
We just call them independent contractors. We don't really put our company's name on there because they also have trucks that work for other similar companies as well. So it's just a basic white truck. There's a small logo on the door that has their company's name. That's the way it operates. Even FedEx has the same model. A lot of companies have the same model.
When did you start doing that?
Around 2014. Before that, we had all company-owned trucks and employees driving the trucks. And I had, this concept of owner-operator / independent contractor has been in the industry for the last 30, 40 years. I just wasn't aware of it and aware of the advantages. So I kept growing the fleet with our own trucks and our own company drivers. But then I was, educated on this process, and I had some consulting company that came in and helped us. So we moved the whole model towards from an employee to a contractor-based model.
Now you have you also have internal employees that are running the warehouses and those sorts of things still. So with those folks, and you've had a lot of people that have been around for a long time, when you look at those tenured employees, what do you think it is that keeps them with Metropolitan and with you all these years?
I think that, it's the loyalty comes from having a relationship with the company, with me, with our executive team. Our business is totally dependent on our employees, right? We provide a service that's performed by people. So it's critical that they believe in the company and they have the same values as I do, or our company does. And they've stayed. We treat everyone with respect. We take care of them. I mean, I have in New Jersey, that's where we started. I have people that are father, son, grandfather type of scenarios
Really,
working for us.
really,
Yes.
yeah, that's amazing. Um, so your backstory before you started, you immigrated from Pakistan, right?
Yes, I came here in 1980. I was just turned 19 years old.
So you really epitomize the American dream in a lot of ways. What were you thinking as a young man coming to America? What were your expectations? What did you hope to do?
I actually came here to go to school and get a commercial pilot's license. So I came to a flight school in Florida, in Vero Beach, Florida. It was called Flight Safety International. It's still there, one of the biggest schools. And I got a commercial pilot's license, and then I was supposed to go back. That was the plan. But after living here for like 18 months, finishing the school, I decided to stay here because I just loved it so much. And I could see a lot of stories all around me with people that come here to the US and work hard and make a really, really good career or a good business and a good living. So I just decided to stay here.
You mentioned going into this business, you wanted to be an entrepreneur. When did that click? Because you were, pilot's license.
After the pilot's license, I decided that it wasn't a career that I wanted to pursue. So then I went to college, got a degree, and it was information systems, and I got a job that with corporate job type of scenario, and I just didn't like that. I just wanted to be an entrepreneur. So it started when I was like 25, 26 years old after finishing college.
I imagine there's a lot of challenges that go with coming to a new country and trying to make your way. What do you think the advantage is? Was there being a first generation immigrant, was there any advantage do you feel that gave you in terms of mindset?
No, not really. I mean, look, America is we're surrounded with so many success stories. Even when I started into this business, I was delivering furniture to a lot of very, very wealthy people's homes, and each one of them had a story of their own,
Yeah.
I met a lot of movie stars, baseball stars, you name it. I mean, we've done a lot of deliveries over the years, and we actually met them in person, and they were nice enough to talk to me and inspire me. And that's what it is. I mean, this country is built on immigrants, and it's also a land of opportunity, no doubt about that.
Yeah. Not everyone latches onto those stories and thinks, I think I could do something too. What do you think? That's just a nature thing, or is that a nurture thing with you?
It can be done, but it's a little bit of luck as well. So my biggest turnaround came when I met my investor, my partner. He's still a big shareholder in this company, and I was lucky, and I just he's guided me and supported me and taught me everything that I know about business. So I think everyone needs to either learn from a book or working with somebody that can teach them, or going to school. So there's different ways of learning, but you got to keep learning, right? It's all about learning. It's a never ending process. You got to keep learning every day. Even today, we learn everything. Every day we learn something new, about business, and things have changed a lot over the last 35 years, a lot. The whole business model has changed, the way people operate, the way employees operate, all of those things have changed. Technology is a big part of it, a huge part of it. It never was in our business, but now it is. It's a critical part of the business now, is technology.
Tell us about that. What are some of the technological pieces that you have layered in or are layering in to accelerate your business?
Yeah, we kind of embarked on this technology platform. We wanted to build our own ERP around 2012. So we went out and searched very hard and found a company and we hired them. They are a Microsoft dealer. They use the Microsoft systems. So we worked with them and developed our own ERP, And then, it was a lot of work in the beginning, a lot of work. It took us about 2 to 3 years to build it. And then when we launched it, we had a lot of difficulty as well because we switched from one old system to a new system. That was in 2016. And then after that, it's just been, you have to keep investing in the technology, and we met a lot of people over the years. There's a lot of companies, you go to shows and you see customers want, more and more tracking. They want more visibility. They want pictures. So I met early on with Costco around 2012, and they were very helpful as well. They told me certain things that have to be done, and we just continued to evolve. So our technology is probably in our niche kind of business. It's I would say among the top 10 in the US. We've invested a lot of time and money into the technology, and we continue to do it. Continue to evolve.
I would imagine you have to, given how vast your network of warehouses is at this point, to cover the entire country. You need it to tie everything together.
Everything is tied in together into one system, and then there's different parts of it, but it's one system. Yes.
Modernization, integration, infrastructure, AI readiness. Onin Technology helps industrial IT leaders build momentum without the resume bloat or vendor babysitting. We deliver talent vetted by real subject matter experts, scoped project teams built for results, and consulting from tech leaders who've done the work. Contract to hire, direct hire, or statement of work, we do what fits. Ready to move? So are we. Visit onintechnology.com.
So looking back over the last year, so if you could go talk to your 30-year-old self, what advice would you give the young, green Shawn Khan in retrospect?
I would say that whatever path that I followed, there was difficulties. I had to make sacrifices in the beginning, especially the first few years of the business. It was financially very difficult because actually my income dropped dramatically when I became an entrepreneur from when I had a job before that. But if you have a plan and if you have a drive, I think the drive is the most important thing, right? If you want to get something done and you stay with it, I would say 9 out of 10 times it works. It definitely works. You have to have the discipline. You got to work hard, and you got to keep focused on your mission and just keep going at it.
Have you had a favorite failure along the way? You look back and a failure that kind of set you on a new track or opened up a new opportunity for you?
We've had many failures, and that's one of the things about business, right? You have many, many failures. The thing is that you got to learn from them. There's no company that can say that they haven't made bad decisions, right? That's just the way it is. You make some bad decisions, and you can't predict the future. So sometimes we overexpanded a little bit in 2016, 17, even prior to COVID. And we had to pay a price for a couple of years. We were having losses. But if we didn't do that, if we didn't expand our infrastructure, we wouldn't be able to grow because you need that infrastructure, right? It just takes time to fill it up. There is no business, as far as I can think, that I know of, that you will not make some mistakes. You will, but you learn from them. And again, our main the best thing that happened that helped our industry is e-commerce. That's what just evolved everything. Logistics business has completely changed since e-commerce happened, right? You have Amazon. You can see that example. It's basically all about e-commerce, and it's all about logistics, most of it anyways.
I'm reading a book right now. It's I think it's called True North or True North Guidebook. It's a leader. It's a kind of a workbook, and you frame out one of the exercises. You frame out your life in chapters, and they ask questions, what would you do differently? What would you learn from? And, going through that, you're so right. There's almost nothing I would change, because not that I didn't make mistakes, but I would have gotten here, or we would have gotten here, had we not done those things.
Right. Some of those mistakes got us where we are today, especially in my case, right? So I quit my job. I had a good job. I quit it to go out and invest in a business that I knew nothing about. it was kind of, if you think about it, at that time, it was a dumb decision, right? It was for many people. What are you doing? You're leaving a good paying job and going into a business that you don't know nothing about, and you're not going to make any money for years to come. But if I didn't make that, so to speak, that mistake, I wouldn't be here right now. So yeah, I wouldn't change anything, to be honest with you. Everything that happened, the way it happened, helped me to get where I am, and I'm very, very happy with where I am.
What's your advice to young people then? Is it take risk, or is it follow the safe path, or how do you think about that?
It depends on your personality, right? What you want. Like if you have a plan to become a lawyer or a doctor or a finance investment banker or nurse or a doctor, whatever it is, right? If you have a focus and you want a certain career, then you just focus on that. It's going to work. Definitely it's going to work. But there is certain people who have a mindset of being an entrepreneur and a business type of a mentality, right? They should definitely, you have to take chances, and you got to find someone that you trust, that you can learn from, and just follow them. You got to find that one mentor that would help you, I think, or maybe more than one, and listen to advice and look at real life stories and learn from them. So yeah, I mean, it really depends on what you want to do, right? There's certain people that don't want to take risks. They're comfortable if they can have a good income, a good job, they're happy. That's great. I mean, that's fantastic. There's plenty of that. It just depends on what you want to do.
That's good advice. Well, let's land it there, Shawn. How can folks connect with Metropolitan if they want to find out more? We'll put it in the show notes, but find out more about your company, opportunity with the company. Maybe somebody wants to be an independent contractor with you. Would your website be the place to go for that?
EOMWD.com. Yeah, you can. There's a place for hiring. There's a tab to click on, and there's also another tab to click on if you want to be an independent contractor, which we call them partners.
Well, that sounds great. Shawn, thank you so much. Thanks for sharing your story with us. Listeners, thanks for tuning in again. Until next time, keep it real.
Thank you for listening. This podcast is powered by Onin, the staffing partner delivering real results for manufacturing, logistics, and food processing companies nationwide. To learn more, visit www.oningroup.com. Until next time, keep it real.